So this is the largest gathering of young people living with HIV in the UK.
Hey, welcome. So we are just getting ready for the first day of F2B 2024. 15 years, got 92 young people arriving in the next hour.
We've been running this camp for 15 years. This is the 15th camp. And we do it because young people growing up with HIV across the UK can be very isolated. It can be very difficult for them to access information about HIV and actually explore their understanding of HIV in a way that feels comfortable, that feels accessible.
And I'm a key worker at the Chiva camp. So the key workers get a group of young people to look after.
Well, I have some set young people that I'm responsible to sort of help them take their meds and also just look after their general well-being.
We are also going abseiling and sitting in on HIV workshops and checking in on people at night that they're in bed and asleep.
If they need any help or support, they'll come to me. We have catch-ups in the morning and at the end of the day.
My role is basically co-facilitating workshops, meeting young children, getting them comfortable in this new space, new area.
I work as a camp leader supervisor, and my role is to basically support and empower the camp leaders through their camp journey.
Help the younger campers to participate and enable them to work together.
I'm currently here as a camp leader to, support the children and also give them some feedbacks if they want any feedback from people similar to their age.
Chiva empowers young people to speak openly about HIV. Chiva helps young people to grow healthy living with HIV.
Chiva tries to make sure that young people living with HIV, first of all, know that they're just like any other young person.
Camp like this opens up the confidence of the children. It makes them more open and more aware, and it also makes them more comfortable. It makes them feel like, they are not alone and they have someone to rely to and make friends that will last them like a lifetime.
For most young people growing up with HIV, the conversations they have about their HIV are limited to the clinic, and it can be really hard to ask questions in clinic. It can be really difficult for them to talk about their HIV outside of the family, even within the family, that can be tough. So what we wanted to create was a space where young people can come and feel free.
The importance of having the camp leader role, because they have lived experience, the campers feel they're able to relate to them.
I started off as a camper and worked my way up to a camp leader, got involved with the Chiva Youth Committee, and then became a key worker.
I've also had all the other roles of camp, so I've been a camp leader and I've also been a camper one time.
And my doctor referred me to Chiva to join in and see what's saying, and I did that. And the first camp was amazing, and since from then I've been going to Chiva every year.
I've lived in a house with a parent with HIV, and so being part of Chiva is actually part of my family experience, and so I can kind of gain from Chiva camp, give to Chiva camp.
I've been involved in Chiva for a very long time. I was actually a camper, so from about 11, 12. I was also a young person that got off the coach, and my journey has kind of just blossomed through there.
My mom was a little bit anxious for me to go, but she was excited for me to meet other young people living with HIV.
My stepmom at the time, when I was about 15, 16, told me about Chiva because she'd heard about it on the radio, and she was like, I think you might really like going to this. It's a place where loads of young people come and they're all living with HIV.
I became involved from Chiva because I was once a camper. One day I got a message, would you like to be a camp leader? And I was like, wow, that's new. And I was excited, and I said, okay, I'm going to do it because I want to make an impact and make a difference.
And every single year, the impact for young people is just extraordinary. So they get off the bus, usually a little bit shut down, hoods up, eyes down, and as camp emerges, they just come out of their shells.
How did you feel when you first arrived? Nervous.
I felt excited and I was kind of scared.
I felt nervous, but then I realized I had some friends outside that was coming.
I wasn't really comfortable sharing how I experienced living with HIV.
I felt a bit scared, like I won't make friends. At the beginning, the first year was tough. I was in my tiny shell. But after time went on, the next year I opened up a little bit and I made few friends till now, and we're still friends.
Was like sent on a minibus from Bristol up to wherever camp was 9 years ago. And I was sat next to someone, and she'd been to camp before. She knew what she was doing, and she just talked to me. And I was quite shy, not like I am now.
So they arrive from whichever part of the country they're in to arrive to like a group of 90-something young people. And the first thing that happens to them, they register, they get their phone taken off them, which is incredibly scary for young people because that is their lifeline to the outside world.
To see them on day one, they're very close to themselves, they're very nervous, because it's a new space, a new area. For some of them, it's a new country. And to see them progress through their journey, make new friends, become more comfortable, and to the last day crying, not wanting to leave, it really means a lot, and it's very powerful.
I don't think I'd ever felt like normal and not so like uncomfortable in my skin. Yeah, I'm a little bit emotional today, so you may catch me crying. Sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry for crying. But yeah, just people like would talk to me, and no subject was scary. Like no subject was off limits. Because we had this connection about HIV, we would just talk about it. And again, like I said, we talked about death. So I talked about my mum dying, and I didn't get the usual response that I would get in like school, where people would just be like, okay, and then like run away, including adults. They would be like, okay, oh, I'm so sorry, and not have like any real connection with me in that moment where I wanted it. Whereas here, there were multiple people that had lost someone, or multiple people that feared for their own life and had fears about life and death. And so we could connect on that. Just became a lot more confident after those 5 days. I still can't believe that every year it's only 5 days, because it's about a year in 5 days.
How do you feel now?
I feel great about camp and I feel like I've had a lot of fun.
I feel really good because it's a space where everybody shares the same experiences.
I feel really happy about it. So I've got to make new friends and learn a lot about HIV.
I feel like happy because I got like a lot of friends. I'm happy that I get to spend time with my friends.
Particularly when they first come to camp and maybe they haven't known about their HIV for very long, they can often feel like HIV is going to hold them back in some way. It's going to limit the things they can do in their life. And we hope that just from coming here and meeting all the different people living with HIV like them, including adults, they can start to realise, actually, it's not going to hold me back. I can do what I want. I can have a family. I can make great friendships, great relationships, and people will accept me.
This week has been incredible. We have had workshops on HIV knowledge. We have had outdoor activities. Yesterday I went canoeing with some young people. It was amazing.
Fun is the biggest thing. But we've had activities. So we've had canoeing, we've had rafting, we've had high ropes, but we've had the workshops, and those are very important.
Creative arts, we do a talk about health, we do a sexual health talk, we do medicine prep.
What have you learned at camp? More about my HIV. How to work in a team with other people, how to make new friends, and just speak to people who I just didn't know before.
I've learned about different contraceptives and how to be safe during sex.
I did learn about U equals U, which means as long as I take my medication as often as consistent as I can, then I can't pass it on to anyone else.
AIDS isn't permanent. Like, you know, the second stage of HIV, I learned that it isn't permanent.
They then did something really creative, and HIV is still in that space. This week they did some artwork using some out-of-date HIV medicine, and they made these really beautiful mosaics.
Poetry and music and drama, and there are external facilitators, professionals in their industries come in.
And the Outward Bounds activities are part of that as well, because a lot of those are about overcoming a huge fear of heights or going out in a kayak and you've never done anything like that before. So a lot of the activities kind of get into the same space of like overcoming your fears, feeling a bit more confident, taking a bit of a risk.
What was your favourite activity and why? I said the workshops because I learned a lot more stuff about HIV and I got to collaborate and contribute with other people.
Abseiling, of course.
Canoeing, because I've actually never went canoeing.
Canoeing, as I got to see my friends go from a state of shock to being happy again.
Rock climbing. I didn't think I was able to do it, and I did it anyways.
I liked zip lining because it was fun.
They meet new people, they go on pool tables, they're playing foosball, they're playing pool, or they're hanging out on the basketball court playing football.
I don't know if you can hear at the moment while we're talking, they're running around, laughing, playing football with each other, and I think that's really important. I always think the classroom stuff is important for knowledge gaining, but the time that they have being young people is just as important.
So for us, it's important that young people also can name their condition, so they're able to say the word HIV and able to say it proudly.
Talking to the campers about HIV and how they can live with it and how when they're ready to tell people about it, they can.
And even I find in free time, they are still trying to have that conversation openly about the HIV workshop that they've been in, what they have learned.
We did a campaign-focused session where basically in their workshop, they learned all about the Equality Act. They also learned about children's rights, so the United Nations Convention, so they understood that as young people, they have rights just for being young. And things like, having a voice is a right, being heard is a right as a young person, having your opinions taken seriously, and that decisions should be informed by your views is hugely important when you're accessing healthcare your whole life.
Whether it's with their employee or their future employee or their doctor, their pharmacist, their nurses, it's really important to know their rights, and that's what we're trying to empower in these young kids.
We had the campaigning last night and that was incredible. The young people just embodied that. I was just so proud of them. I was so excited for them. Just this experience as a whole for them is an unforgettable experience. No matter where they go, no matter what they do in life, they will always have that experience of being a part of F2B and being a part of Chiva.
And I know that after camp, Chiva hears back a lot of reports that young people are often way better at taking their medication.
When I started Chiva, I was not great. I wasn't in a great position. I just found out that I had HIV, but I've been taking medication all my life, and my mental state wasn't right, and I decided to close myself because I used to be bubbly, but then I found out and I just closed myself from everyone. But now I've learned that you don't have to be in that bubble. If you want to go out, you can go out and do anything.
I got to release those feelings and do poetry and art and stuff to get rid of all of this shame that I built up and that had been put on me. It's not mine. It's not my shame.
Chiva's amazing. It's changed a lot of people's lives. It's definitely changed my life. I know for sure that I definitely would not be alive if it wasn't for Chiva.
When I think of camp, I always think of it as a place that hags. There's a lot of hagging that happens in camp. And I didn't think much of it until I was reflecting on just how far we've come with HIV from even looking at the late 1990s to where we are now, how hagging is such a significant thing that we have that contact. We're not at a distance, we're one, and so we'll hold them close to us. We have that physical contact and we're just saying, we care about you, you're part of us, we're part of you, and we're going on this journey together.
And going to Chiva really made me realize that there's other people like me. The impact it has is very, very heavy, and I think that other people should come.
It's called Freedom to Be because we are here to be absolutely ourselves.
Those relationships that start at camp continue, and lots of the volunteers, as you have seen, come back, having been previous campers. So it's building up that really strong support network so that young people don't feel isolated, they feel more confident, they feel just a bit better about what their future might hold.
You have the space to feel free, you have the space to grow, you have the space to learn, you have the space to be loved.
I would like to say me joining Chiva made me a really happy person. I would definitely recommend people just like me, people who are like isolated as I was previously, to not be scared to, join something like Chiva.
I love being part of this crazy, unique family that we have. But thank you, Chiva, for all that you do.
Would you come back next year and why? Yes, so I can see my friends.
Definitely. Because I want to learn a lot more stuff about HIV. I want to meet new people.
100% would, as I'd like to further my understanding on living with HIV.
I would come back because I really want to see my friends again and I want to do the activities again.
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Because I like it here.
Please make it 7 days long.
It's been a journey. I've grown so much with Chiva. I've grown so much with my friends that I've made through Chiva. The young people have been so inspiring to be around, and I just hope it never ends.